Hey everyone, Ayurveda Every Day with Talya. This is Talya, and hello. I wanted to jump back into our Facebook group today and talk about something that's really dear to my heart and I feel is very, very important for all of us who are interested in Ayurveda to be thinking about and to be to be thinking about. This is really dear to my heart. So I'm going to go ahead and call this a vitality session, which is something that I call my Facebook Lives when I'm not doing a boot camp, although I am in the middle of leading the Detox Your Body with Ayurveda boot camp. We are on day 4, which is the day of water. And if you're catching this and you're not in the boot camp, it is not too late to join. We're actually going to keep the boot camp awake and alive until Friday, October 4th. So we would love to have you jump in. Each day, it's a 5-day boot camp. Each day is about 45 minutes to an hour of committed self-care to fully participate and get the most out of it. But even if all you can do is listen to the videos while you're driving or going for a walk or washing your dishes, you'll still get so much out of it. So I'll put the link in this video so you can sign up for it if you want to. Most of you who are watching this are like, I'm already in the boot camp and you were just here. But I wanted to come back. This is what I didn't have time to share in day 4 of our boot camp that I just really don't want to miss. So, today's in the boot camp, day 4 is about water. It's about feeding your fluids and why. And even this is the whole reason why I even call what these my Facebook lives, I call them vitality sessions, because I feel like, so many of us are just like, God, you just like, what is the matter with me? I don't feel well. I'm so depleted. And it's like, no, like, I get it. It happens to me too. Of course. How can it not? But it's like, no, I will not allow I will not be defeated by running myself into the ground because it's what society and culture requires of me. No, fuck that. So, but today what I'm talking about is how we cultivate healthy kapha, because we just dove into the driest, coldest, lightest season of the year, the Vata season. Vata stands for air and ether, and it is the quality of wind. Everything about Vata is cold, light, dry, thin, windy, scattered, discombobulated, all over the place, anxious, fearful, indecisive. So, to balance that dosha when it's coming up for everybody because of the season that we're in, we need to learn ways to anchor it and to pull it down. But one of the things I wanted to talk about in this vitality session is, like I said, today's boot camp topic is water, and what we need to cultivate for this vata balance is, for lack of a better way to say it, healthy kapha, full, nourishing, wet, warm, unctuous, lubricating, grounding, earthy qualities. And in my experience, kapha is denied in our culture. Kapha is the dosha that is made up of earth and water. And when you see somebody with a kapha body type, they're usually heavy and round and thick, and they've got some stagnancy to them. People might call them fat. They definitely would refer to them as big boned or big bodied. Maybe they're obese, whatever. But there's, right, we look at just any magazine, if you pick up any magazine these days, pretty much any magazine, you see all of these tall, thin women who are the representatives of our culture. Like, this is what looks good. And I have to say, like, I totally fall for it. And when I was a teenager and when I was in my 20s, I suffered from a severe eating disorder. Really, really severe. I mean, so severe that I lost boyfriends over it. I lost friendships over it. I went into deep depressions over it. I mean, I hated myself so intensely because I wasn't thin. Absolute insanity. Okay. But when I found Ayurveda and my teacher, met with me and was like, well, this is, Ayurvedically speaking, like, you are cold, light, and dry in many ways, but you're also Kapha. You also have a lot of wet fluidity and your bones are sturdy and you do have curves and you're not supposed to be stick skinny. And that was like a revolution for me to just be like, I'm supposed to be this way. And this is okay. This is who I am. So it really, and it's taken years. And I'm still working on this. I'm not going to lie. I'm still working on this, but embracing and accepting my kapha, accepting that it's part of who I am. Now, some of you watching this are not kapha. Some of you are like, I'm Vata Pitta. I wish I had more kapha. If you're someone who can't gain weight, you're always depleted, you're always dry, you're also always thin. No matter what you do, you can't put any meat on your bones. You don't have enough healthy kapha. You don't have enough kapha at all. And so it's a different story for you. But my point in creating this session is I want to talk about how important it is that we value kapha, because kapha rules your waterworks. It rules your bladder, your kidneys, your lymphatic system, your circulatory system, your blood supply, how nourished and vital and energized you are, the radiance and luster of your skin and your hair and your nails, of your eyes, of your teeth. I mean, it's just like, it's everything. So, if you are kapha, celebrate that, own it. Like, I love, who I love as a healthy kapha in what's it called, social culture, is like Queen Latifah. Do you know her? I just love, she just fucking owns her kapha. She's like, I love that attitude, like, that's right, like that. It's just self value and self worth, which most kaphas actually really struggle with, partly because it's societal, partly because what goes with kapha is also heavier emotions like depression and melancholy, sadness, greed, grief. That goes with kapha, and those emotions are also really rejected in society. I was reading an article a couple weeks ago about depression and how when it's like, if somebody in America is like, I am depressed, somebody in Europe says, I feel depressed. Like, it's like an identity in a lot of Western cultures, I'm sure in Europe too. But the languaging in English is, I am depressed. And it's, instead of it being like, it makes it be, oh, it's something's really, really wrong with me, I'm depressed, which is certainly how I feel when I feel depressed. I can go there 100%. But it's so important that we open up our minds and be in communities like this one, like Ayurveda Every Day with Talya, that's about, hey, let's get real. Let's be honest. Let's support each other. There is nothing wrong with you. You just have a temporary out of balance experience going on, and it can be changed. It can be transformed with Ayurveda. And I really think that Ayurveda, it's a science, okay? But most of the practitioners that I know who are yoga teachers and Ayurvedic practitioners, they are some of the most caring, loving, nurturing, codependent people that I know. Not necessarily codependent, but codependents are nurturers and they are carers. I'm certainly a codependent, a recovering codependent. But my point in saying that is like, this is a place where you're going to get love and acceptance for who you are, and that's just as important as all of the medicine that Ayurveda has to offer. And I do feel that Ayurveda is such a loving science, if I can say that about science, that there is one that is specifically loving. But it really takes some fire and courage to break these patterns and to break these cycles. And so that's really why we need community, and why I lead the courses that I lead, and why I do these boot camps. And this is also the blessing of knowing your dosha, even though it's not something you have to know. to practice Ayurveda. Eventually, it is something you want to know, but that's why this is a service that I offer in person where I live in Santa Cruz. Currently, I live in Santa Cruz, California, and I offer these consultations online. I work with clients all over the world. I mean, it's about reading pulse, but I can read pulse energetically, elementally, through the questions that I ask, through listening to my clients' answers, through looking at their face when we do a video chat for a pulse reading. So I want you to know that this is a service that's available to you. Of course, you can find somebody who's in your own town, but if you really want to know your dosha so that you can embrace and accept who you are at your core, I so highly recommend getting a pulse reading from a certified Ayurvedic practitioner like myself. And I want you to know that's something that I do. And I would love to work with each and any one of you. And the other thing I wanted to say, and this is more for the boot campers, but it's for anyone who's watching this vitality session. Since I am talking about Kapha, I want to say, Kapha is sweet. There's the taste of sweet, which we always think of as sugar, but the taste of sweet is comprised of earth and water. So Kapha is the taste of sweet, and the taste of sweet is Kapha. And sweet is very, very important at this time of year. So if you are having a lot of sweet cravings, know that number one, it might be that you're dehydrated. And that would be the place to look first. Be like, okay, I'm really craving sugar. Maybe I didn't get enough sleep. That's something that will dehydrate us. Traveling a lot will dehydrate you. Having too much on your plate will dehydrate you, etc., etc. But see first, maybe you're thirsty. If the sweet craving persists, know that you might really need sweet to ground and expand and hydrate your energy from a different place, because hydration is deeper than water. And so some kapha sweet foods that are not sugar, which I don't recommend that you eat sugar, is, root vegetables, especially when they're baked or steamed. Whole cooked grains like rice or quinoa, especially if you put a bunch of ghee or olive oil or sesame oil on top. Making sure you get enough protein. Protein is sweet according to Ayurveda. So these are some ideas for you to think about if you are having sweet cravings. And I hope you got a lot out of this vitality session. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Talya Letzger. Ayurveda Every Day with Talya is where you want to be. Join our Facebook group if you're not already in there. And like my Ayurveda Every Day with Talya Facebook page. And I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.